Hello, and welcome to this segment of Arts on the Hill, which I must say, when I heard of this project, I thought it was such a fantastic idea. When I started thinking about the kinds of poems that I could possibly share with you in this segment, I was stymied because I realized that a lot of my poems were about what some people would call not quite feel-good subjects. And so the question is, can something sad make you happy? I really believe that a work of art can, because I think that any art that touches us does so because it resonates with our profoundest terrors. So when we discover that someone else feels the same way we do, even if the situation is in its details a little different, we feel less alone, and therefore art can make us feel better. So in that vein, the first poem I'm going to read to you today is a poem. It's a poem from my second book, so it's from a long time ago, and it's about another pandemic, the Black Death, the plague. A few references. Boccaccio, many of you will remember, was the author of the Decameron. He was a 14th century Italian writer, great writer. In the Decameron, there were 100 tales that were told by 10 people who had fled Florence, where the plague was raging. They were sheltering in place right outside Florence, and to pass the time, they told these stories. Now, Boccaccio's muse was a woman by the name of Fiammetta, and not much is known about her. We know a lot about him, but as usual, the woman did not get much attention. So in this poem, we have Fiammetta breaks her peace. I've watched them, mother, and I know the signs. The first day, rigor. Staggering like drunks, they rammed the room's sharp edges with the most delicate body parts and feel no pain. Unable to sleep, they shiver beneath all the quilts in the house, panic gnawing a silver path to the brain. Day 2 is fever, the bright stream clogged, eyes rodent red. No one weeps anymore, just waits, for appear they must, in the armpits, at the groin, hard blackened apples. Then at least there is certainty, an odd kind of relief. A cross comes on the door. A few worthy citizens gather possessions around them and spend time with fine foods, wine, and music behind closed drapes. Having left the world already, they are surprised when the world finds them again. Still others carouse from tavern to tavern, doing exactly as they please. And to think he wanted me beautiful, to be his fresh air and my breast's two soft, spiced promises. Stand still, he said once, and let me admire you. All is infection, mother, and avarice, and self-pity, and fear. We shall sit quietly in this room, and I think we'll be spared.
Hi, I'm Jim Ryan, and I am here with my favorite daughter, Phoebe. How are you doing, Bea?
I'm good.
Excellent, and we are both here to welcome you to the third episode of Arts on the Hill, the digital edition. You just heard from the remarkable poet Rita Dove, a Pulitzer Prize winner and a member of the UVA faculty, someone I'm proud to call a colleague and a friend. Coming up next, you're going to hear some singing, some poetry, you'll see some dancing, and I understand that there is another spectacular performance from a U.S. Senator. So stay tuned. I hope you all are well, and with that, I'll turn it over to my colleague and friend, Matt Weber, who just had an essay published in the New York Times, which you should check out, about building a church in his backyard. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi everyone, and thank you President Ryan. Unnecessary to reference that article, but I am reporting to you from this little backyard church I built for my kids. Our church is closed, so we wanted a place to count our blessings today, so we threw this together. Speaking of blessings, Nathan Colberg, a recent grad of the University of Virginia, is our next performer. He is a talented person, over 4.5 million listens on the internet, recently sold out the Jefferson Theater, and when we reached out to him and asked, would you like to perform on Digital Arts on the Hill, he said, if it helps people out, if it provides solace during these difficult times, count me in. And then he also said, maybe I'll get a new fan in President Jim Ryan. To which I respond with saying, Nathan Colberg, check and check. Performing a song called Charlottesville. Here's Nathan Colberg.
Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Colberg. This is a song I wrote while I was at UVA about the wonderful town of Charlottesville, Virginia. Cheapest cigars in hand as we sat on the marble stairs and put words to a story that we didn't know. Dusted piano keys as the song blows across 14 and the floorboards sing to their own melody. So don't go, Charlottesville, leave me by the pillars that hide you, and write me the letter that I wrote you, 'cause I'm coming back to you. Yeah, I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back to you. Stay safe. Go Who's.
Hi, Charlottesville community, UVA, and friends. I've come to my favorite place, which is with the animals. My dad was my best friend as I was growing up, and he always used to say as I left the house, remember who you are and what you stand for. And that's left a strong imprint on my soul. Our favorite movie was Lonesome Dove, and when one of the main characters passed away, they said about him, never shirk the task, splendid behavior. And I was thinking about what splendid behavior looks like. And so a poem about splendid behavior is If by Rudyard Kipling. And it reads, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or be lied about, don't deal in lies. Or be hated, don't give way to hating. And yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dream your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they're gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Thank you, Coach. Love that poem so much. It's one of my favorites, one of my dad's favorites as well. And love that you incorporated animals into it. Gave me some inspiration for my segment here. This is Sandy. I don't know if anyone cares, Maybe you're sick of seeing people with their animals on the internet the past month or so. But anyway, Sandy, named after a Bruce Springsteen song, which, by the way, Bruce, I'm pretty sure you're watching. Just email me. We can probably squeeze you in on this show. You know who we don't have to squeeze in? The amazing and talented Indian dance group, the Hurrahs, next on Arts on the Hill, the digital edition.
आज माने आंगणे पगार शेमा पावा माणी
Guys, let's get some milk.
बाचे तो उड़ू भावंकड़ा ना छड़िया हथिया
Hi there, my name's Henry Skerritt and I'm the Curator of Indigenous Arts of Australia at the Kluge-Ruhe Aboriginal Art Collection of the University of Virginia. Okay, so even though we're not meant to be travelling, today we want to take you on a journey to one of the most spectacularly beautiful parts of the planet. We're going to head to Northern Australia, a place called Arnhem Land that occupies 37,000 square miles on the northern tip of Australia. It's home to 10,000 Aboriginal people who speak around 20 different languages. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the show and we're going to travel from west to east and we're going to look at 112 works by 55 artists, some of the leading artists in Australia, and they're all from this very special place. Are you ready? Let's go.
All right, folks, did you like our little commercial break there? I thought that was kind of good. I think they'd call that cross-promotional synergistic marketing with some maybe product placement in there. Kluge-Roo, Fralin Museum, go check them out online or in person. Decided to keep the dog here too. Hi, Sandy. Just in case you get bored with me, you can be like, well, don't want to listen to that guy anymore, but at least the dog's cute. Which leads me to, well, I don't know. I don't think there's a good transition from that. So I'm just going to do a full stop. Our next guest is not to be outdone by Senator Tim Kaine last week, who played the harmonica. This is our other senator, U.S. Senator from Virginia, Mark Warner, with what I will call his piano opus. Enjoy. Senator Mark Warner, everyone. Next stop, Carnegie Hall, which is the typical progression once you've appeared on Arts on the Hill, the digital edition. Folks, it's the end of our show, episode 3. We're still recording in our backyards on iPhones, and we want to hear from you. If you like what you see, if you don't like what you see, if you want to see something new, write to us at uvaarts@virginia.edu, and we're closing out the show, as we always do, with performances by children. Wendy Binns, who is a class of 1997 from University of Virginia, submitted this performance of her son playing the drum. And may I just say, I hope the drum beat of the arts during these troubling times continues to just always, always beat on. And in the case of Wendy Binns' son, I hope it lasts, about a minute, because if it continued on forever and ever and ever, he'd probably get a little tired.